Hello everyone, Brooke Bove here, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I love about legal writing. And right now you're super lucky because you get two people on screen. There's blue-haired Brooke, you got judgy Brooke. I'm always saying don't judge, but I clearly do judge. I wrote this article several years ago for The Gavel, which is the quarterly publication by the Orange County Trial Lawyer Association, and of which I used to be the editor. And I wrote this a long time ago, and it's I love to keep highlighting it because it's a very personal article, and it talks about what I love so much about legal writing and why I love it so much. If you would like to read the full article, you can. You just need to go to it's on both my websites. It's on bovelawgroup.com under the blog heading, and there's also on ghostbriefing.com. There's also a blog page with the same post on it. So, it's a very unhumble brag. But I kind of wanted to go through it just in video form because it is something that's very personal to me, legal writing in general. And I call this the 5 stages of brief. Every time I get a brief in the mail, specifically anything that I have to oppose, I go through these 5 stages, and it happens when it's like something that I have to create from scratch and make the motion myself. But this is kind of from the point of specifically maybe like a summary judgment motion that comes to me. And if I don't win this, my client's going to lose their opportunity to bring the case to trial. So I'm going to want to the stakes are really high, but really in any law in motion, during litigation, the stakes are very high because it can be the difference between getting that discovery you need or that evidence you need to prove your case, or getting the leverage you need for settlement. And these things are really high stakes, and litigation is really scary and stressful, and a lot of that comes down to the legal writing. So the first stage of brief is denial. It's panic, it's fear, it's feelings of inadequacy. This is like my normal state of being. I go through these phases like, oh my gosh, defense is totally right. We're totally screwed. How are we going to get past this? How am I going to tell the client what's happened? Or it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much. The appellate record is so big, or the documents I've got to are so voluminous. How am I ever going to get it all down and whittled down into a 15 to 20 page brief? I don't know how I can do this. So I go through this stressful denial. I can't do it. We might as well just give up now kind of thing. And then I go into like an even darker place, which is depression, anxiety, isolation. It's overwhelming, and I ignore it and eat far too much ice cream. And, I probably let this stage go on far longer than I should. But it happens. So eventually, though, I get to the point where the pain of not doing the work is more than the pain of actually doing the work. So I get into the bargaining stage where I'm like, okay, I will work on this brief for 1 hour, and then I get to have an hour of Gilmore Girls time. Or I will, I should have probably picked something cooler than Gilmore Girls, but frankly, I don't know if there is anything cooler than Gilmore Girls, so I don't take it back. And then I do bargaining things like, if only I had started researching earlier, if only I would have found this case sooner, it would have saved me so much time. Or what about this one fact that changes everything? Now I got to go back and redo everything. If only, if only, if only. Or I get into this thing like, dear Lord, if you just make this go right for me, I will start much earlier next time. I won't procrastinate so much. And hey, baby paralegal, if you will please do all the citations for me and the table of contents, I will buy you lunch. I will do all this bargaining to try to get this thing done. The anger stage of brief is honestly kind of my favorite. It's where you're really in the weeds on the argument. You're in the case law. You're working on things, and you just found the sweet spot of. It's like, did you ever see that movie IQ? And Tim Robbins is talking to Albert Einstein, and he's talking about like, I could just see how everything was going to be okay. I could tell there was lots of work to do still, but I could just. It's like when you're grinding. He's talking about like, I don't know, something automotive, like grinding down a fender to like know you're going to get the right shape or something, but and it's not done yet, and it's still completely a big mess, but you can just see how it's all going to work out perfectly. And that's exactly how I feel when I get in the middle of a brief and I just know I'm going in the right direction. I found the thing that's going to save us. I found the weapon and the case law that's going to really make us victorious. That's the most euphoric I feel. It gets sweaty and I get excited and I can hardly breathe. I'm so excited. It feels so good. Like I know that I am the perfect person to be doing this job and to be doing this writing and to get this motion written, the brief written and filed for our clients. And then comes the acceptance stage of brief, which is the reality check. I don't always feel acceptance. I often feel unsettled. Like if only I would have had a couple more days. This is the bargaining comes back in again. The stages of grief are not linear and neither are the stages of brief. They come and go and exchange at all different times. So, acceptance, I don't really feel as happiness or satisfaction. It's not like, yay, I'm done, or yay, we win the brief. It often feels like a little unsettled. Like the court will find, even if you win, sometimes the court lets you win for a reason you didn't even think of. And that feels bad because like, why didn't I think of it? But also it feels bad because like, judge, you missed the point. I laid it out so clearly for you. How could you not figure it out? And so the acceptance and the peace doesn't always come, or the peace doesn't always come, but acceptance can, because we know that we're doing this and we're working hard and we're mucking through this legal minefield, and we're getting it done for our clients and we're doing what we need to do for them. And, that righteous indignation that I get during the anger phase, that's the thing I will always be looking for. I'll always be, fighting for my clients' outcome, the desired outcome. And, I am an emotional person, and sometimes people think of that as negative, but I don't. I think of that as I feel strongly and I need to make those battles for our clients. Litigation is war. Each brief to be written along the way is a battle in that war, and it can be won or lost for your client. Let ghost briefs help you win those battles. Together, we can stick them with the pointy end of the pencil.